Sa panahon ng mabilis na impormasyon at kaliwat ka ng balita, kailangan mo ng isang channel na mapagkakatiwalaan, diretso at para sa bayan. Ito ang Balitang Pambansa, ang iyong bagong tahanan ng mainit na issue, tunay na impormasyon at mga balitang hindi mo dapat palampasin. Mula sa mga trending na kaganapan sa social media hanggang sa mga seryosong isyong pambansa. Bantay kami sa bawat sulok ng bansa para sa iyo. Hindi lang basta chismis, kundi validated news, mga impormasyon na may batayan at mga kwento ng tunay na buhay Pilipino. At kung gusto mong laging nauuna sa kaalaman, huwag kalimutang mag-like, mag-share at higit sa lahat, mag-subscribe. Dahil sa Balitang Pambansa, balita mo, boses mo, bayan natin ito.
Supreme Court reiterates BP Duterte impeachment ruling immediately executory. Kaya naman mga kababayan, bukas parang nanginginita na ho natin kung anong kahihinatnan na magiging botohan sa Senado. Pagka itong mga senador na to nagpumilit pa, ewan na lang ho natin. Ang Senado, walang problema. Wala kayong maling ginawa dyan, di ba? Wala ho silang maling ginawa dyan. Ang may problema, ang House of Representatives. Inupuan nila yung tatlong impeachment complaint. Yung pang-apat, yun ang ilagay ho nila sa arangkada. Talagang mabilis pa sa alas 4. Nasa Senado yung mga articles of impeachment. Ang problema ho dito mga kababayan, lagi nating naririnig, forthwith ng forthwith. Ang tagal ng pag-aaway-aaway na yun sa forthwith na yan, di ba? Ganito forthwith, ganyan yung forthwith. Dapat forthwith, talakayin kagad. Wala nang maraming cheche-bureche, di ba? O dito mga kababayan, maliwanag pa ho sa sikat ng araw ang gustong mangyari ng Korte Suprema. Immediately executory. Ang naging decision nila na yan, diyan sa impeachment laban dito kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Immediately executory, hindi forthwith ang pinasalita dito. Baka sabihin na naman forthwith yan. Pagka yung mga kumukontra sa impeachment hindi maintindihan to, magkakaproblema ho tayo dyan. Tayo ho naniniwala sa mga susunod na araw talagang makikita ho natin na ang Korte Suprema hindi basta-basta magpapatinag o magpapasindak doon sa mga elected government official na akala mo kung sino. Ang kakampi ng Korte Suprema dito sa isa na to ang sambayan ng Pilipino. At kung meron mang nakakapanood dito anong ginagawa nyo dito kung taga Korte Suprema kayo? Hindi ako napaisip, anong gagawin dito ng mga taga-Korte Suprema? Hindi, pero sinisigurado ko sa inyo dito kung meron mga naligaw, nasa likod nyo ho ang sambayan ng Pilipino. Kung ano man ang maging desisyon nyo, kaming mga law-abiding citizen susunod dyan sa kung ano man ang ipag-uutos ng Korte Suprema. Hindi ho kami kagaya noong mga utak rebelde, yung mga kontrabida, yung mga galit sa mga Duterte. Hindi ho namin gagawin yan. Kami ho respeto kung ano man ang desisyon ng ating kataas-tahasang hukuma. Pasadaan na rin ho natin itong si nagmamantika. Nagmamantika to Nagmamantika ho itong mga kababayan. Eto, si Jude Asidre, itong Hey Jude. If the impeachment case is dismissed, then it's to the country's loss. Ano is to the country's loss? Pinagsasabi mo na naman. Nagdidiluryo ka lang, Brad. Ikain mo lang yan. Ikain mo lang yan, Jude Asidre. Pero pansin nyo ba? Wala ba kayo napapansin? Parang nagiging health conscious na yan si Jude Asidre. Di mo nakikita pa parang pumapayat siya. Nasermonan ka ba ni Tamba? Ay, nako, Jude Asidre. Wala na ako. Finish. Parang nanginginita na ho natin kung ano mangyayari bukas dyan sa botohan na yan dyan sa Senado. Naniniwala ho tayo, yung pagbobotohan sa Senado na yan, isa ho yan sa makakapagpalakas sa loob ng ating mga magigiting na maestrado dyan sa Korte Suprema. Ay ang ika nga nakikinig, naniniwala sa rule of law at ayaw nila magkagulo ang Pilipinas. Kasi kung sakali magkagulo mga kababayan, magsaside ho tayo sa Korte Suprema. Naknanto ka, magsaside ho tayo sa Korte Suprema all the way, ika nga. Kahit ano pang maging desisyon ng Korte Suprema, sa kanila tayo magsaside. Dahil yung mga yan, hindi mga politiko. Hindi nila pinapangarap na maging presidente sa 2028. At hindi sila nagbabayad ng butante para lamang makaupo dyan sa Korte Suprema. Sila ho ang ating papanigan dito sa isa na to. Kahit magsama-sama na lahat ng former Associate Justice, former Chief Justice, dyan kayo lahat sa tabi ni Tamba, wala kayong pakialam. Basta kami, dito kami sa Korte Suprema. Kung ano man ang panawagan nyo, wala kang pakialam, magsama-sama kayo dyan, mga pinklawan, mga makakaliwa, mga sympathizer ng mga MP, magsama-sama kayo. Di ba? Yung mga Talyanista, Ensaymada, mga former Associate Justice, former Associate Chief Justice, dyan kayo, magtipon-tipon kayo. Basta sambayan ng Pilipino at yung mga senador na nasa tamang katinuan, doon kami kung ano sasabihin ng Korte Suprema. Di ba? Ito hindi binayaran to eh. Ika nga, pagka ikaw wala ka na dyan sa institution na yan, nasa labas ka na, civilian ka na, medyo sketchy na yan, ika nga, medyo, hindi nga. Wala bang mensaherong pinadala sa'yo si Tamba? Mahirap na, di ba? Ito, pakinggan natin ang mga banat netong si Manong Ted Pailon. Manong Ted, pasok!
Para lang ho natin maiklaro po ito and yung kahalagahan din po ng komite ni Congressman Joel dito po sa usapin na ito. And meron pa ho tayong ilang pang iduduktong dito po sa ating diskusyon na ito. After all nga, no, ang sinasabi puro tayo accountability ni VP Sara, no? Pananagutan ng Vice Presidente, confidential fund, etc. Pero ito ito ang malaking hamon sa 20th Congress. O ayan, harap-harapan, sinasabi ng Presidente, may kickback, mayroong SOP. Sabi niya dito, flood control na palpak, gumuho, yung iba guni-guni lang. O ito, accountability ang hinahanap dito ng Presidente. So, yung House, both houses actually, ano magiging aksyon dito? Right? So, will they...
Hindi, Manong Ted, ang ano dyan, ang aksyon dyan, ano pa rin, nawawalang sabongero. Yung apat na makapangyarihang komite, yung Quadcom kung tawagin nila, iimbestigahan nila yung nawawalang sabongero. Hindi, wala silang pakialam dyan sa nawawalang flood control. Wala silang pakialam dyan. Yung komite nitong anong pangalan nito? Yung si Terry Redon, wala kwenta yun. Yung apat na kumuting makapangyarihan na pinagsama-sama nila, yun dapat ang mag-imbestiga dyan sa mga flood control na yan. Pero sabi, base dun sa pinakauling privilege speech nitong si Atrasabante, yung naging video natin kanina umaga, ang sabi niya, uumpisa ulit ang itutuloy ang Quadcom. At ang kanilang pangunahing layunin para mabigyan ng katarungan yung mga nawawalang sabongero. Hindi naman importante yung buhay ng mga kababayan nating nababaha. Hindi naman importante yung buhay ng mga taxpayer na napiperwisyo, di makapasok sa trabaho dahil dyan sa buwisit ng baha. Importante dito yung mga nawawalang sabongero para dito kay Atrasabante. Wala yan. Manong Ted, hindi na kami umaasa dito, Manong Ted. Kami pinipilit naming umasa, pero ang problema dito, paulit-ulit naman tayong binibigo nitong administrasyon na to. 5,500 flood control. Nung huling zona niya, ano sabi niya? Binanatan niya, binida niya 5,500 flood control. Ngayong 2025 na zona niya, hinahanap niya na rin yung 5,500 flood control. Di ba? Ganun ho katindi. Ano ho bang ibig sabihin yan pagka ganyan klase ang presidente? Weak leader. Weak leader. Anak ng tokwa. Hindi mo ba kayang kailangan, hindi ba kaya ng executive na mag-conduct na sarili na ng investigasyon? Kailangan mo ba talagang ipa-imbestiga doon sa mga pinaghihinalaang kasabwat itong napakalaking problema na... Di ba? Paano mo i-imbestiga na sarili mo kung ikaw ang salarin sa krimen, di ba? Natural, maa-acquit pagkatao mo dyan. Hindi mo pwede yung ganun. Di ba, kahit na magsabi, kung iimbestigahan yung flood control issue na yan, dapat merong third party. Ika nga meron talagang independent body na hindi galing dyan sa House of Representatives. Kasi kung sila-sila lang dyan, wala rin naman magiging mabuting resulta yan, ika nga. Oh.
Investigate their own.
Their own.
Yan po yan. And then ngayon, ang tanong nga po dito, baka ngayon pa lang din may mga magdududa na. Sabihin na,
Correct.
hindi, sila-sila yan eh. Sabi
Paano
nga
nga
natin,
kaya yun?
bigyan muna natin ng pagkakataon,
Okay.
di ba?
Okay. Paniwalaan natin tong si Manong Ted Filon. Bigyan natin sila ng, kung tawagin benefit of the doubt.
Oo.
Bigyan
Sino
natin
bang
muna
pwedeng
ng-
mag-imbestiga sa dapat mga imbestigahan?
Sa mga, sila ho,
Kasi
mahilig mag-imbestiga, di ba?
silang mag-iimbestiga sa kapwa nila o kaya sa sarili nila? Pwede pa, paano ba yun?
Hindi nga eh, kasi
Yare, paano ba yan, Kung ikaw ang pinaghihinalang kawatan, paano mo iimbestigahan sarili mo? Ano tatanungin mo sarili mo? Ninakaw ko ba yon? Hindi. Kontraktor ba ang tatay ko? Kontraktor ba pamilya ko? Hindi. Di ba ano sasagot mo? Oo. Shoutout kay Saldi ko at dito kay Rog Gutierrez. One Rider Party List. Ako Bicol Party List. Shout, mega love shoutout sa inyo ha. Di ba? Halimbawa ako, congressman, tatanungin ko, kontraktor ba ang tatay ko? Kontraktor ba si daddy?
kasi
Pero
nga,
sabi naman kanina ni Kong Joel, kung may miyembro
Oo.
na kasapi sa kanila na talagang sangkot dito, wala daw choice.
Papalusutin nila. Ito nga si Eli, anong pangalan nitong congressman na to? Teka lang Eli, ito. Sabi nga nitong si Egay Erice, di ba? We're barking at the wrong tree. Ang issue daw natin yung solid waste management, hindi flood control. Umuulan ng basura kasi. Kaya yun. Puro basura, konting tubig, kaya nagbabara sa mga estero. Kailangan natin, hindi flood control, waste control.
Imbestigahan naman.
All, kung ganyan, wala ka na talagang tiwala, pero baka pwede
Wala
mo
na.
nang pagbigyan. At
Pagbigyan.
makikita mo naman sa galaw, kilo, sa mga lengguwahe na gagamitin nila at doon sa mga sasama sa investigasyon, di ba? Kasi dyan naman sa kanila, kilala naman sila sa isa't isa eh. Hindi ba? Anyway,
Wait, kilala nila isa't
Oo.
isa?
parang sa prime water yan.
Oh, sige.
O, di ba, prime water? Sino ba may may-aring pamilya?
Villar.
Mga Villar. Hindi ko naman tinatanggi ng mga Villar yan.
Oo,
Sino
naman.
ba may may-ari ng power producer sa Sikihor? Pamilyang Villar din.
Oo.
Ang tanong dito, imbestigahan ba ng kapwa senador yung kanyang mga kasamahan na kung saan po ang may-ari ng kumpanyang imbestigahan, mismong anak ng may-ari o kapatid mismo ng pinuno ng naturang kumpanya.
Oo. Siyempre kung ako yung senador na natanong mo, ang sasabihin ko ay, oo, kahit pwede namang hindi.
Hindi ka naman senador eh.
Yun na nga ang matindi doon.
Oo.
Pwede ko sabihin,
Yan ang problema doon. Dito na ho tayo kay Ernesto Francisco Jr. Ito na yung yung Francisco Ruling, di ba? Francisco Ruling. Ito na ho yun mga kababayan. Ito na, game na ho ito.
Sara's
Tuloy.
impeachment.
I have read the decision several times, and I am very convinced that it is correct. It is correct because what the Supreme Court did was just to address a grave abuse of discretion on the part of the House. The issue
Nako.
here is that the House of Representatives did not comply with the constitutional one-year bar rule and violated the Supreme Court decision in the Francisco ruling. What the House of Representatives should have done is that after the first impeachment complaint was filed, then the House should have acted right away on it immediately by including it in the order of business, and the House thereafter should have referred it right away to the Committee on Justice. That was not done. It's in the House rules
Teka lang ho ha. Teka lang.
It should be done, but that was not done. So the Supreme Court, it's the duty of the Supreme Court, it's the constitutional duty of the Supreme Court to determine if there has been grave abuse of discretion on the part of the House of Representatives and to correct it. And here, there's a clear grave abuse of discretion on the part of the House of Representatives. This is not a question of
Meron daw clear abuse of discretion.
the House following the Francisco ruling. The House did not follow the Francisco ruling and violated the constitutional provision on the one-year bar rule.
Naku,
All right.
yung binibida nilang, base dito sa Francisco ruling, Francisco ruling sila na Francisco ruling, yung mismong kalaban nila dito sa ano na to, doon sa naunang kaso ng impeachment, siya na mismo nagsasabi, merong grave abuse of discretion. Yari, si Tamba dito.
Let's go back to the Francisco Doctrine, which was initiated in a way which is exemplified by yourself. It pinpoints the initiation of an impeachment complaint when it is referred to the Justice Committee. Correct? Correct, Attorney?
Yes,
Yes.
filing and referral to the Justice Committee.
Right. But in this case, we heard the speaker say that there was no action on it, and they were archived after the approval by 1/3 vote of the House of Representatives on the 4th complaint. Why is that? What was the where did the initiations begin in this particular case referring to VP Sara?
That's the violation says, because in the Constitution says that the House should have acted immediately even on an impeachment complaint filed by a citizen. That's very important to us because that's the only power given to us citizens to file an impeachment complaint. The House, the Speaker, the Secretary General do not have any discretion to sit on these 3 impeachment complaints. They should have followed the Constitution. They should have followed the Francisco ruling, which is in the House Rules on Impeachment. If you look at page 1 of the House Rules on Impeachment, the Francisco ruling is quoted there in the footnote.
But should this be applied then prospectively? Because they say that they were just following the Francisco precedent, the rules set by the Supreme Court in your case, in the case that you had filed.
But the problem says is that they did not follow it. They deliberately avoided the Francisco ruling by sitting on the first 3 impeachment complaints. And they waited for the 4th impeachment complaint. That cannot be done. They do not have discretion to do that. That's why the Constitution is very strict. It says it should be placed in the order of business within 10 session days and then referred to the Committee on Justice.
Iyan naman pala eh. Galing ho yan kay Francisco ruling. Yari sila dito.
But attorney, that's exactly what the House is insisting they did. They said, pasok naman po sa 10 session days because not every day that they have a session is counted as a session day. Of course, some lawmakers even have also doubted this, but that's how they wrote back to the SC. They even said, some session days were 3 days long, 3 real days long, etc. So what would you have to say against that, that justification by the House?
The first impeachment complaint was filed on December 2, 2024. It could have been it could have been included in the order of business on December 3. And within 3 days, immediately, not even waiting for 3 session days, referred to the Committee on Justice. That is how it should be. I have done that. I have filed on my own as a citizen. I have filed twice, thrice an impeachment complaint, and I relied on that. That when I file an impeachment complaint, as long as it's endorsed by a member of the House of Representatives, it is the constitutional duty of the House to act on it. not to sit on it, but to act on it immediately.
Nako.
But-
Here, they
Correct.
had 19 days, not just 10 days. They had 19 days to act on the first impeachment complaint that was filed on December 2, 2024. And I know why they did not act. They skirted the possibility of a hearing because the first impeachment complaint was too long. It contained 24 charges. So they thought that by having by having an impeachment complaint that was filed by at least 1/3 of all the members of the House, they can transmit it to the Senate right away. But there, they are also wrong. Because if you look at the House rules on impeachment, and I have it here,
Nako. Etong si Attorney Francisco kompletos recados. Paano ba yan tamba? Hindi makakapalag dito si Joel Chua. Si Benny, nako, lalamunin ang buhay nitong si Attorney Francisco yung mga yan.
It says, Section 2, impeachment shall be initiated by the filing and subsequent referral to the Committee on Justice of, letter C, a verified complaint or resolution of impeachment filed by at least 1/3 of all the members of the House. So this is the House rules. It says that even if it is filed by 1/3 of all the members of the House, it should be referred to the Committee on Justice. Why?
Nako.
Because it is the Committee on Justice who is supposed to determine if the complaint, even if filed by 1/3, is sufficient in form and substance. This was not followed.
But attorney, help us understand why the doctrine of operative fact does not apply in this case, which essentially states that even while the law or the Supreme Court declares it as null and void, the past actions done in good faith may still be considered valid.
Precisely. It was not done in good faith. There was a deliberate act on the part of the
Nako.
House to sit on valid impeachment complaints filed by citizens and endorsed by members of the House. And worse, those who endorsed these 3 impeachment complaints filed by citizens later signed the 4th impeachment complaint. That's another technicality.
Aray ko! Papaganon ka na lang yung Aray ko! Aray ko! Papaganon ka na lang talaga. Inisya. Ganito si Atty. Francisco, yung mga dahilan kung bakit talagang na humantong doon sa desisyon na yun, ang Korte Suprema. Diba? Aray ko! Aray ko!
You see, we would not have any problem if the House just followed strictly what is provided in the Constitution and in the
Grabe to,
Francisco
grabe.
ruling. Had they been in good faith, then that Francisco ruling would have been followed, and maybe by this time, Senate is already conducting a trial.
But it's so hard, right, Attorney? Like when you're arguing things like good faith or bad faith, faith is something intangible. And if this is procedural indeed, then how do we, argue it? Because it's something that, like it's so affected by personal biases, etc.
It can be good faith or bad faith can be seen in the sequence of events. All we have to do is examine the facts. And we can see here a deliberate avoidance of the constitutional 1-year bar rule. Don't violate the Constitution. That's basic. And there was a deliberate avoidance of the Francisco ruling. To make it simple, had they followed the Francisco ruling, all they had to do is that when the first impeachment complaint was filed on December 2, 2024, they should have included that in the order of business right away. The Secretary General has no discretion to sit on it. But on the contrary, based on the constitutional provision, the Secretary General is mandated to immediately refer it to the Speaker and to place it in the order of business.
But it did comply. There were 10 calendar days.
Sige mga ate. Ilaban nyo lang yan mga ate ha. Ilaban nyo yan. Gusto ko yung ginagawa nyo na. Ilaban nyo yan. Ha? Talagang they did comply. Okay, comply. Tuloy.
Session days,
Session
sorry.
days.
10 session days.
No.
Even if there was bad faith, let's just say it complied with
Push. Ilaban natin yan. Diba? Baka yan ang gusto ng mga boss natin eh. Push natin yan. Dama impeach si BP Sara. Dahil pagka na-impeach si BP Sara, tuloy-tuloy ang ligaya sa mainstream media.
what the rules say.
No, says, because there were 19 days, there were 19 opportunities for the House to act on it. But what happened was that on the last day, on the 10th session day, February 5, 2025, the Secretary General included all four in the order of business, additional reference of business. And the Secretary General read the fourth impeachment complaint
So are you
first.
saying 19 session days?
Not 19 session days, 19 days that Congress House was there. when it
Oo
had
nga
been.
po, pero they are counting session days.
No,
And the
it
rules say
would,
session days too, right?
Yes, yes, order of business. But if you will notice, there is such thing as
Ang hirap po dito mga kababayan, itong si Ses nakikipagtalo sa abogado, tapos hindi siya abogado. Yun ang mahirap dito eh. Di ba? Ses, push mo lang Ses.
additional reference of business. In fact, these impeachment complaints were included in the additional reference of business, which were taken up outside of those 10 session days, but within 90 days from December 3 up to February 5, 2025.
For
What I'm
example,
saying lang is this, that they could have acted swiftly on the first impeachment complaint.
So are you
They did not.
Are you saying that the Supreme Court decision, because other legal luminaries are saying it sets aside the Francisco precedent, it's no longer the existing rule to follow, but this new decision by the Supreme Court, which sets new conditions?
There's no inconsistency, says, because the Francisco ruling is still very valid if given that same set of facts. Now, this is another set of facts that the Supreme Court has to interpret because it has to. It's the arbiter. It has to decide. Take note. Before the Francisco ruling, there is no provision that an impeachment complaint is deemed initiated upon referral to the Committee on Justice. I
Yes.
placed that in my petition.
Right. It made
I
this
questioned
clear.
the rules. I questioned the rules, and then the Supreme Court decided, interpreted the Constitution, and says it's from the filing and referral to the Committee on Justice. Nobody questioned that. Nobody said the proponents of the impeachment complaints then, so many members of Congress did not say that, hey, don't apply that to us retroactively. They did not question because they know they are lawyers. Many of them are lawyers and they know that what the Supreme Court did was right. And do you know what they did? They revised the House rules on impeachment and adopted the Francisco ruling. That's why in the House rules on impeachment, at the footnote mentioned the Francisco ruling. So what's the problem now? The Supreme
Attorney?
Court is just interpreting a new set of facts.
Okay. Attorney Francisco, to your point, do you think the Supreme Court also considered the fact that House Secretary General Velasco also gave an interview, a TV interview at that, where he said, where he was asked, why did you not refer this sooner? And he said, because some House members asked me to hold on because may hinahabol pa silang isa pang complaint. So things like that factored into the Supreme Court decision, you think?
Yes, you can see that in the footnotes, but that shows bad faith, and that shows that you cannot invoke good faith. And the Secretary General of the House is not even mentioned in the Constitution. He has no discretion. Even the Speaker of the House has no discretion to sit on an impeachment complaint or not to act on it. It's the House. It's the action of the plenary.
What could have been the proper process? Should they have referred all to the Justice Committee and they could put them all together into one complaint, combine all these four complaints? Could that?
In the Francisco ruling, there's a portion there that says that when the impeachment complaints are in the Committee on Justice, they can be consolidated.
Yes.
That's in the Francisco ruling. Although I personally disagree with that, no? Because this is first to file and referred to the Committee on Justice.
Kaso attorney, meron ding mga sham complaints eh. 'Di ba? Na you can be the first to file, and then initiation starts and you're stuck with a complaint that cannot prosper.
Yes, but look at it this way. The Constitution provides that a citizen may file an impeachment complaint based on grounds enumerated in the Constitution and endorsed by a member of the House of Representatives. The presumption there is that a member of the House of Representatives or members, many members, will not endorse a sham complaint. There's a presumption of regularity there.
Well, Attorney, what happens now? Because the House of Representatives has already filed a motion for reconsideration. How likely is it for you that a unanimous ruling could be reversed? And the Senate will also be tackling this in 2 days. Can they proceed? Because there's no TRO naman from the Supreme Court.
Well, it is the right of the House of Representatives to file a motion for reconsideration. That's part of due process, no? Now, as to the Senate, I do not want to preempt what the Senate will do on Wednesday, but this is all in accordance with procedure that the House at the first instance should have followed.
If this is so, and if the motion for reconsideration is not granted, then the recourse is just to file another complaint, as the Supreme Court had indicated, next year in February. Are the dates correct? Because there's also also back and forth about the dates.
Not later than February 6, 2025, 2026. That's in the Duterte decision, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
But you agree also with the dates because other commentaries have pointed out that the count should not begin in February, but December.
I think the rationale there, Attorney, was, well, if you're counting that the first impeachment as it is, then it should be that we can file a new case on December 3, 2025. Because that's more than a year from when the first...
Malit na detalye na yan, pero I'm very happy na makita ko kayong mga reporter, mga anchor ladies, nagmo-move on na, kumbaga nandun na kayo sa stage ng acceptance na kailangan na lang mag-file ng bagong impeachment complaint. Palakpakan ho natin yung mga nating mahuhusay, nga, di ba? Yan, dapat paghandaan nyo na yung mga bagay-bagay na darating sa mga susunod na panahon.
Citizen-filed impeachment was
No. In the Francisco ruling, there are two components, no? Filing by a citizen and action of the House. It was it was on February 5, 2025 when the House, acting as a plenary, did not act on the first three impeachment complaints that they are deemed dismissed. In fact, even the word archiving, it's not in the rules of impeachment. It's not in the rules on impeachment. That's even a violation. There's no such thing as archiving an impeachment complaint. So when the House as a body did not act on the first three impeachment complaints on February 5, 2025, they were deemed dismissed at that time. So the counting of the one period starts there.
All right. When they, in a way, archived or referred or put in the order of business?
No. When they did not act.
When they did not
act.
Speaking of archiving...
The archiving, that's actually has no place in an impeachment because it's not in the rules. when they did not act on the first 3 impeachment complaints at inuna nila yung 4th impeachment complaints, in effect, they dismissed that first 3 impeachment complaints.
Okay, so dapat walang archiving. The term shouldn't even have appeared.
No, that's in the rules of
All right.
the House for resolutions.
Now let's discuss the other features of the Supreme Court decision, which says that the VP was also deprived of due process because she was not given a copy, which some luminaries see as an additional procedure. What do you say about that?
With all due respect, says that is wrong. That is wrong because the House rules on impeachment provide that already. What the Supreme Court did was only to lay it down clearly, step by step. What's my basis for this? The House rules on impeachment, the Francisco ruling is incorporated in it. There's notice, hearing. That's the essence of due process. And lastly, and very important, it says on the last page, rules of procedure. The rules of court shall, as far as practicable, apply to impeachment proceedings before the House. What is the rules of procedure? That's the rules that govern all court proceedings. And almost all rules, every rule in the rules of court provides for due process. Filing of a complaint, filing of an answer, period, when to do certain things, that is due process. That is not due.
Right. But the naysayers, attorney, would say, this is only quasi-judicial, this is more political, and maybe what the Supreme Court has done with this ruling is to make it actually more judicial than political in nature. What would you have to say?
More difficult.
More difficult too, yeah.
Impeachment in layman's language is a unique proceeding. But it is also subject to constitutional provisions all over the Constitution. And a primary of that, principle of that is the Bill of Rights. They cannot say that the impeachment proceedings is not subject to the Bill of Rights. Every step of the impeachment proceedings should be subject to the Bill of Rights. And this is not just the right of the respondent to be heard. It's more important the right of the complainant to be heard. I have been a complainant a number of times, and I know how it feels when I am not heard by the House.
Well, attorney, at the same time, speaking of right to be heard, some of the
Ayun na nga mga kababayan, kung gusto nyo panoorin ang kabuuan niya na to make the story short, better luck next time, House of Representatives. Maraming salamat sa pag-support sa PH Update. Mag-ingat po kayo lahat. O yan, Francisco ruling. Ayan yung mismong Francisco versus House of Representatives. Ayan, maliwanag pa sa sikat ng araw. Para wala nang away-away. Itong si Tamba kasi, MR pa. Papaalalahanan niya pa na impeachable official ang mga ko. Ito talagang mama na to. Ayan, iyak ka ngayon.